good people community, and welcome to Edutainment for Us channel. So guys, I've been so much into the social aspect, but I just think that even though I have Live Saga TV, where I'm doing a lot of political analysis, I need to also bring it here a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, so guys, if you know, you know. The first in ODM is actually very shocking, and if you actually decide to listen carefully to what each one of them is saying, then you'll get a different concept of what these people are into. Now, it seems like the exit of Gachagua from Kenya to USA actually opened a platform for ODM, and it coincided with the celebration of the 20-year aspect of ODM. So guys, you may not be in politics, but just welcome here and let's talk about it, because it's our Kenya and some things are happening. And at the same time, I'm talking about Jamaican politics, a little bit about ROWE, if you know something about Lawrence ROWE. So guys, let's get on board, because I've just been watching a lot of the sagas that turned out in the 20th celebration of the current the current ODM thing, and I was like, all right, I have to talk about it before I get back to other social matters or educational matters, guys. And before we go so far, take a moment and subscribe to the channel, like my videos, share, and you know, so that anytime you are into social matters, you can actually focus and pay attention to what's happening around us. So it will be very unfair that I keep talking about social matters within people's channels and avoid talking about the political matters that really matter to us. So I know that many people actually focus on rumors about social aspects and forget about political stuff. But as for me, I think I love politics, and therefore sometimes I'll be pulling you into it. So just give me a little moment, then I talk about this. Now we'll begin with Sifuna, guys. Sifuna has shocked everybody with his visibility, audacity, and the kind of statements he's pulling out. Now, nobody will actually pull Sifuna out of ODM. Forget about it. For those who are talking about sack Sifuna or work, forget about it. Nobody is going to actually pull him down. And if you know, you know. Let me just check on some receipts here, guys, and I'll be playing for you before we go on, so that you see why there is no way Raila will be thinking about pulling Sifuna out of the ODM. Now, remember, there are so many times we've seen Sifuna going head on collusion with the government, whether in parliament or outside parliament. Yeah. And one time, while in parliament, what did he say? He told the entire house. Yeah. He told the entire house. Let me just pull something here before we proceed. I had indicated what to be done. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, so guys, I had indicated what to be done. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, so guys, welcome on board. I know you'll be coming in slowly by slowly. No problem, no worries. We are in Africa, so guys, I know that some people are from work with the jams all over the places. And also for those who are in other countries, maybe you're getting ready for work. Somebody told me that I should be doing these live streams on political aspects maybe as early as 7 or 9. And I'm so grateful for such suggestions, but let's see, maybe with time we'll make it there. Now, remember, there are things that the ODM will not do, like denying Babu Owino the gubernatorial seat of Nairobi. I don't think so. They can't dare. They can't dare, because if they dare, he will go as an independent candidate, and if he wins, ODM will be done. The other thing is that they cannot dare deal with Sifuna. If people are talking about him actually getting out, forget about it. Forget. Yeah, forget about those. Those are dreams, invalid dreams. Those are invalid dreams. You are going to lose. You are going to... Yeah, and I wanted to play some receipts here just before we proceed, so that I show something here. So kindly come on board, like the video, subscribe to the channel. The advertisements are actually giving me a hard time here.
Remove William Ruto. So be it. So be it.
Former Deputy President Gachagua?
He is impeached. He cannot run. I don't understand why people talk about him as a viable candidate. The Constitution says once you're impeached, you cannot run.
As Kingmaker? Is he someone you would work with?
I don't know about Kingmaker. Let me tell you about my view of Gachagua as in terms of value proposition. The value proposition for Gachagua, for me, from an ODM perspective, is that he is taking away votes that helped beat us in 2022. For as long as he's taking away votes from Ruto, I don't care where he takes them. He is not giving William Ruto. Are you getting my point? So if Ruto...
So guys, you've heard what Sifuna said there. So Sifuna's strategy is actually to have the president out of office. I always tell you, once an enemy, always an enemy. However much somebody will come shake your hands. Guys, we can forgive but never forget. Raila has gone through a lot of humiliation under Ruto, under Uhuru, under the former president who actually passed away, Kibaki. And I don't think there's a way he forgets. Even though people say we don't have permanent political enemies, that one I don't agree. I don't agree. Now, if you come to the kind of play, the folly play, the monkey business that currently runs in government, you realize that everybody is there for themselves. Now, there is a high possibility that what ODM has done is just to make sure that Ruto will actually pick a deputy deputy president from their, from their party. And possibly it might be Sifuna, who knows? Because it's the most, the viable, or rather the outstanding individual. If you may say, why are you saying this? Let's check for the receipt somewhere else and see what people think. You may say I'm just speaking for myself, but why is Sifuna appearing to be a major person that cannot be spit out by ODM? And this is what I'll play for you, actually. Look at this. Did you see this?
ODM now is a big fish in a small pond. Alisema hapo kwa TV kwamba he doesn't want to be a big fish in a small pond. He wants to be a small fish in a big pond.
Politics is like cricket.
So Sifuna wants to be a small fish in a big pond. Which pond is this? Which pond is this? It is actually political world. He doesn't care whether he's in ODM or any other party. Of course, you heard the interview that was conducted. If you can go to Live Saga TV, I did a video there and I showed how Sifuna clearly told, while on interview, he said clearly that if he's told to walk out of ODM, he will walk out. Can you imagine? What on the effrontery does he have to say so? He says so because he knows that he's a gig. Currently, you can tell me that maybe Natembe is a gig in Western. Now, after so many people have been done away with, the likes of, let's say, who? Babu Namwamba, we had the likes of, who else? Nancy Baraza? Nancy Baraza was also touched. Yep. And there was another. There were about three different people who were done away with, if you know.
Till then, nada. Third reason why, right? I, for one, totally believe that Edwin Sifuna is going to switch allegiance fully to President William Ruto, because that's the end goal. Till then, nada. Third reason why Raila can't fire Edwin Sifuna today is because Ruto will stand to lose. I've said it time and time again. Kenya Kwanza fired Ababu Namwamba. They fired Susan Nahumicha.
Ababu Namwamba, Susan Nahumicha.
Cleophas Malala.
Cleophas Malala. Yeah. Cleophas Malala, Ababu Namwamba, and Nahumicha were fired. So, What makes you think they are going to fire Sifuna again? What makes you think so? You know? And no wonder when we saw that today's event, let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. And remember, yesterday when Sifuna was about to roast the government, what happened? Raila had to leave the platform. Let's check this.
Haya, bana befwe mulembe swa mulambo nanga bulayi, munaniona vizuri? Mimi ndio Sifuna. Mumanyile bulayi ese omwana wenyumbu kuzukwa amabungoma nani. Lakini Mheshimiwa Raila, nataka nikupe historia fupi na hawa ndugu zangu wa Kakamega. Sifuna hata kama naondokea Bungoma, mimi nilizaliwa katika hospitali ya St. Mary's Mumias hapa Kakamega. Wakati ambapo nimefika umri wa kwenda shule, mimi nimesoma hapa Amalemba Kakamega Township Primary School. Na baba, wakati ambapo nimeingia sekondari, nimesoma Musingu High School. Baba, kwa sababu wewe ni mjukuu wa Nabongo, unajua kwamba wewe wewe ni mhwazi wangu. Huyu baba pamoja na Governor Fernandez pamoja na Mbuyu, hawa wote ni wakwe zangu. Ule mtu anapigia Sifuna ugali ndio nakaa vile nakaa, ni Bwibo Makulu Saba. Kutoka Matungu. Sasa kuna watu waliniambia nisikuje hii mkutano. Nikawauliza, hata kama nitakufia Kakamega, si huyo msichana wao ndiye atabaki nini? Mjane, si ndio? Ese nyana afuira Kakamega kangali. Ese munjire ese. Na mukosera sina nyo munjire. Lakini leo nataka niseme asante kwa watu wa Kakamega, manake wakati mwingine watu wanaweza kufikiria wewe ni wazimu, kwamba unakuja mambo yako tu, lakini nyinyi ndio mnanituma kusema mambo ambayo nasema kule Nairobi.
So guys, if you listen carefully, he's speaking in Kiswahili, but he's actually furiously saying that even though some people wanted to object his coming to Kakamega, but he had to come because he is representing the people. And whatever he's saying on behalf of the people. Now, why do you think Sifuna is doing this? Against the wishes of others, like you look at somebody like Oparanya. By the way, what did Oparanya say? Oparanya said that he has the sweets. Anamumunya peremende. So akimumunya peremende, wacha Wakenya wengine wasafe. So for him, he is no longer relevant in the Luhya politics. Even though someone stood in this meeting and was saying that now there is a representation of Luhyas through him, no one will actually listen to him. No one. Because he is representing himself. When he came to the government as in charge of finance, he actually began a different story. He even said that the Hustler Fund is okay. He said everything is okay. And he said he's not going to make noise because he's earning, you know, like he has peremende. And the peremende he was talking about here was actually the opportunity he had been given. Let's just check for that receipt again. Politics, guys, politics. It's a hard stuff. Guys, where are you? I'm waiting for you people on this platform. I can see you. I can see you. I can see you.
they found some free time.
So this is what Oparanya said once.
Sasa mimi nimeroka peremende kwa mdomo. Sasa yule anapiga kelele ya nini? Tulikuwa na peremende. Hiyo peremende nimepatia watu wangu kidogo pia wakule peremende, sio? Hiyo ndio mambo. Hao watu wanaongea hapa wako kwa tabu. Tabu kubwa.
Now, at that point, you can actually see that this guy Oparanya justified the fact that once you get the position, you forget about the people. That is one nature that actually really demoralizes me about Kenyans. The fact that they get it, they forget about it. Even when you are in institutions, when you're working even in institutions and there is suppression or oppression, when people tend to see that some are suffering, but they are close to power, they are eating, even if there are some humiliations, even if the system is failing, they celebrate. They celebrate and say everything is okay, guys. So, the reality is that we might not even know. I might not tell. Maybe you should type in a comment section to show what you think about Sifuna. If Sifuna is actually speaking as he is doing, is he speaking for us or he's seeking attention and he has gained it? Definitely, if you look at the current ODM, the representative of ODM from western side is now Sifuna. And maybe on the other hand of UDA, we can say Natembea. And Sifuna would outdo even Wetangula. Actually, if you ask me, that's what can happen. Wanakuja tu kama mtu ametoka. Yeah, so the current politics, actually, when you look at it, it's a hot one and very informative. At the same time, we need to trick ourselves into it because it tells a lot, and there is a lot we can learn from the politicians. But the reality is that every man for himself, God for us all. That is the reality. And when you look at Sifuna, for example, he is a gig, and Raila is actually just sending him to say what he has to say. Why do I say so? Raila came up in the Orange House meeting and said that the SecGen represents him, you know. When the SecGen, let me cover myself a bit, I'm going out to sell timber before I come back to continue the live stream. I won't stop, I'll keep talking. Kupima ya 10 siku hizi inanisumbua. Kupima kuni ya 10 ni shida. So guys, as I was saying on the live stream, the Sifuna politics is actually a weight one, and he's representing Raila. So when he speaks, no one should imagine that he's going to be kicked out of ODM, because nobody can dare do that. As I've already said clearly in the video, no one will kick him out. For one reason, Sifuna is representing ODM and the people, what people want to hear. And when he knew about this, that is why he's always campaigning for what he's doing, because he knows that people will buy that narrative. Because after all, he has seen that people are listening to Gachagua, and he would rather not have Gachagua, because he's already said that Gachagua does not qualify for presidential seat since he was impeached. Now this is one question that they want asked Gachagua already, and Gachagua said that impeachment does not stop someone from vying, right? Because earlier on, we've had people who have been impeached, and because their cases had not been finalized, they went on to Yeah, because the cases had not been solved, or actually the pursuit of the cases was still going on, with no verdict having been given. They were offered an opportunity to buy. So, and this one, of course, we are not so sure, because until anybody else speaks apart from himself, we are not so sure whether they'll allow. Somebody said in the political analysis that in case they allow, the decision will be made because possibly somebody wants to split the votes. Now, my other thought was that in case ODM is fighting for the position, what do they want? Because I'm very sure if Baba runs now, what he's doing is just splitting the votes, because they are diehards. They are diehards of this old man. And instead of now voting for somebody else, they'll give him, not because they want him to win, but maybe that will cause a split of the votes, right? Yeah. All right, so we are back to our destination, because sometimes you have to do business as you speak, as you do these live streams. You cannot stop, you cannot also make the customers wait, but then it is what it is, guys. Yeah. So, you mean people, you don't like political political discussions, or why are people not here? You know, I'm just waiting and wondering at the same time. Anyway, we have to proceed, right? Yeah. So when we look at these delegates at the conference, let's see. All right. So when you look at this exclusive moment, you realize that that no matter what, there's no way Sifuna is going to be kicked out. Though people have shown discontent about him, but it's impossible. Meanwhile, let's walk into the wisdom of Babu Owino. What is this? The disconnection when I went out.
God is good and all the time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I want to take this opportunity to recognize all the leaders who are here, even know what that field looks like. I always tell fellow leaders in parliament that leadership, a leader is the most ignorant person in life. The most ignorant, and underline the word ignorant in capital. Why am I saying so? Because as a leader, you have a line, you have your profession. But as a leader, all teachers, as a profession, want you to know everything about teaching, about their profession, and take care of their interests. All doctors want you to know about medicine and medical issues, yet you are not a doctor, and you take care of their interests. All journalists, all advocates want you to take care of their interests. All bishops and fathers and bishops and pastors want you to look at myself, I see you. And I started from the student leadership. When I was the student organization of Nairobi University president and also the president of Kenya University Students Organization. This is where I started, and this is where I am today. Seated at the helm of student leadership is because I did not decide to work for the government nor the administration, but I worked with the administration, but not for the administration. It means that we sat, we talked about student issues, we came up with solutions. So as a student leader, do not rush so much into government. Those officers.
Now, guys, remember Atwell is one of the most controversial individuals in ODM, and he has been behind the government until, when did he talk? Someone remind me in the comment section. There is a time he now stood and began being controversial. Now today, this is what Atwell had to tell people.
Ambacho nyinyi watu wa ODM mlimeza kikakwisha. Tulikuwa na secretary general wa party yetu alikuwa anaitwa Kamodho. Mlikuwa mnamjua? Angelisema mambo tofauti na mwenye chama alikuwa hata akipita kama umelala unafanya kidole namna gani? Juzi karibu niulize baba, lakini baba alikuwa nje baada ya kumsikiza Sifuna kwa TV. Nikasema, why is this young man contradicting the party leader? Kumbe sikujua ni nyinyi mko nyuma ya Sifuna. Bas, leo ndio nimejua. Nyinyi ni shanzi sana. Mimi ni mzee wenu wa hapa.
Shenzi sana. Shenzi sana. Nyinyi ni shenzi sana. Hey. It's called politics, guys. It's called politics. So you actually clearly now understand that everything Sifuna is doing is backed up by Raila. And in fact, you saw when Sifuna was actually presenting that speech to say that CSS are supposed to resign. When people began asking questions, what did Raila do? Anybody in the room, can you answer the question? Student number 1. Hey. So all of you, if you saw, what happened is that Raila walked away. He walked away because he's using Sifuna as the mouthpiece to share what he wants. And he does not want to be at crossfire with the Ruto because he's still taking the peremende also. So of course, Raila is there saying he does not want tribalism in his party. For him, ODM is not about the Luos, the way Gladys Wanga had suggested, and someone else from GEM and elsewhere. ODM is not a party for Luos. It is for everybody in the country. So Raila insisted on that. Why? Because he knows that if they dare mention that ODM is for Luos, they are going to lose members. Because the journey had started. We saw what Wanyonyi had decided to do. Yeah, we saw clearly what he had decided to do. So guys, at some point, Abdul Wamad lost his temper in front of Raila. And he had to blast CS Mbadi. Guys.
tunaanza kuona dalili, jeshi inaanza kuingia katika mabarabara. Je, tuendelee kuhakikisha ya kwa hii nchi moto umewaka? Tuangalie tuweze kutuliza hii nchi, kwa sababu bila Kenya hakuna ambaye kwamba ataweza kusema mambo ya 2027. Jeshi ingeingia kwa hii barabara, tungelikuwa sahihi, hatuzungumzi mambo ya chama. Jeshi ingeingia kwa barabara, wangesema hakuna mambo. Imezaa educationists hapa katika Western hapa. Imezaa watu ambao kwamba walioamini, kuanzia kina Otiende ambao kwamba walikuwa katika the first people who represented Kenya sia mpaka Mei mwaka huu. Estimations zile ambazo kwamba zimepangwa pia ya kwa put your foot down. As a first term member of parliament, I was taught by Raila Amolo Odinga that ukienda katika bunge unazungumza lugha ya chama, isipokuwa mambo mawili peke yake, ikiwa ni jambo ambalo kwamba linatatiza na litakuwa ni lenye kuenda kinyume na dini yako na ile ambayo kwamba unachokiamini wewe. Lakini kama ni
So I told people in the previous video in Live Saga TV that the reality is that nobody is happy about what is happening in the government, and I think ODM has read that, and that's why they are currently supporting Sifuna, and of course Sifuna is their spokesperson, and whatever he says, Baba is with him. Now, of course, I understand that the government is shaking currently because they do not know what will happen, because ODM is trying to take back its space. Now, remember, Gachagua has been in the US. What are his achievements? Of course, being abroad, there are so many things that Gachagua has achieved. One is to maintain visibility. His visibility has been felt whether he's abroad or here. We even saw that at some point he touched people like Susan Kihiga, to an extent that she has to speak about him. She has to speak about him in the absence. We have also seen the aspect of not Ndindi Nyoro, but Kimani Ichung'wah. Kimani Ichung'wah's aspect of talking about the wife of Gachagua has been defended by the UDA women in Kenya, right? Let's check on this. Let's check on this. A short clip, I think. Somewhere I saw something. His visibility in Kenya has been there in absence.
Sini Mkenya tu, hajachaguliwa kiti, anadanganyana hapa ati yeye ana direct polisi. Ana direct polisi aje na yeye ni civilian. Ni mafacha inaleta shida. Wewe niambie, Gachagua yeye alikuwa administration na anajua na anaelewa hakuna civilian anaweza direct police. Kwa hivyo yeye ni mtu wa kuchochea, mtu wa propaganda zenye hazina miguu.
And of course we had a lot like we had also at Kiambu somebody mentioning Gachagua. You remember? We also saw Kimani Ichung'wah going on talking about Gachagua. So his visibility is maintained, and that's why ODM had to use this opportunity. We also have seen that Gachagua has maintained the narrative of one term, even abroad. Let me check for that receipt. That when he's there, he's continuously talked about one term, the agenda that is actually been sung, even in Kenya, all over the place. So let's check for that.
The opposition have no policy, have no sera, and you need to know how they will improve on your policies and your programs. Mr. President, it is not possible to improve most of your programs. Your biggest program is lying.
Yeah. And we saw that very many people celebrated because he was like responding to the president from abroad. Another thing is that Gachagua has been able to actually acquire a lot of support, though there is a default in the way he's focused so much on Murima. You know? Like, let's look at this one. What did he say?
It is the NGOs and the civil society. He stayed after another 4 weeks, he said his Ford Foundation. Do you remember? The other day, he said it's a church. He said the church, you know, the other one. Kiplagat, Kirich. Uski sasa Gachagua anasema ati aliambia amri jeshi wachague mtu wa diaspora akuwe ambassador wa Kenya to US, lakini sasa amri jeshi alikataa kusikia. Unajua tu vile Gachagua amekuanga anasema amri jeshi one man show. Hivyo ndio vile Gachagua alikuwa anasema akiwa pande za Amerika. Na sasa hiyo story Gachagua anasema that sasa watu wenye wako diaspora ndio wanafaa kurani hizo embassies. For example, Gachagua anasema Los Angeles consulate inafaa kuwa imejaa wa Kenya. Anasema ati bado pande za Washington DC hiyo embassy inafaa kuwa imejaa wa Kenya. Na Gachagua anasema akiform serikali ataweka wale wa Kenya wenye wako huko diaspora waingie huko kwa hizo embassies. Gachagua anasema kama watu wa diaspora hao ndio tu watu wenye wanaweza jua vitu zenye zinaweza wasu.
Yeah, so guys, you heard about that. This platform is not for political aspects, but guys, be aware about what is happening or going on in the country. Type comments in the comment section and continue subscribing to the channel for more updates on different aspects and topics. Otherwise, we'll be getting back to the Marwa drama, back to Nyabo Hanse. Thank you.